This is 24 hours of eating street food in Chengdu, China. I think there's only 2 noodles in my whole bowl, but they're just so huge. So our first stop today here in Chengdu is at this shop right here that's famous for selling their Quay, which is a stuffed Sichuan flatbread. There are 2 different types of fillings. One is pork and one is beef, and you can tell that the beef is mixed with all that famous Chengdu spice and peppercorns because you can just tell by the color of it. So she flattens out the dough and then smears a little bit of the filling and then gives it a nice flip like that and really smacks it down there, gives it a nice slap onto the table, and then repeats the process with the filling inside to kind of get it evenly distributed, and then another layer of filling, and then it's squished down into a flatbread, and then it's first fried in oil twice, and then it's actually put into sort of a little oven to get it nice and crispy. So that's the famous Chengdu Quay. So we're gonna try one out. So they actually have all kinds of different fillings besides the pork and beef. I thought it was only those 2, but they even have intestine, brown sugar, and rabbit. There is a lot of rabbit dishes here in Chengdu, so you can order up all kinds of different fillings. So we just ordered up our Quay with beef. So the spicy beef filling, they're making them like crazy back here. And you can see the final product here. So he's chopped it up into a couple pieces. All those layers, crispy, crispy layers. So they get it super crispy by frying it not once but twice. And then the real key is to also bake it at the end. So you get that extreme crispiness. And they also put a little bit of sesame seeds on top of the beef one, so you know which is which after they cook them. You don't know whether it's pork or beef. You gotta look for the sesame seeds, that means beef. So let's try this out. Little layer of beef in there, and then all the layers of the flatbread. Let's try it out. It smells like Sichuan peppercorns. Oh, that's so good. Super crunchy. Immediately you can taste the famous Sichuan peppercorns. I'll be saying that a lot here in Chengdu because that's the ingredient that really comes through in all the Sichuan cuisine, is that sort of floral lemon and numbing sensation from those really interesting peppercorns. If you've never tasted it, there's nothing else like it. That crunch. A little bit salty. All of those little pieces kind of falling apart. And it's just so crunchy, so crispy. Listen to this crunch. Oh yeah, that's good. Perfect little breakfast here in Chengdu. The flavor and the sensation of the mala is so unique, and you can really only taste it. I mean, you can taste it across China, but it originates here in Sichuan. In fact, it's a really popular type of Chinese cuisine. There's many different types of Chinese cuisine, but Sichuan very well might be the most popular in China and abroad. So when you taste it here, though, you can really get the fresh Sichuan peppercorns, which are the key ingredient. You get that really tingly tongue after you eat everything. It's such a beautiful flavor. That was awesome. Perfect way to start our tour here in Chengdu with the famous Sichuan Quay stuffed flatbread. Really numbing, and we're heading straight to our next stop. So this is our next spot. They're serving something called Fei Chang Fan, which is a sweet potato intestine noodle. I gotta shout out Trevor James, the food ranger. This is so cool to be here in Chengdu to taste the food that I always used to see in his videos. This is one of the spots he recommended, so thank you, Trevor. So you order first, tell them what you want, they give you chopsticks, and then you wait in line and you get your bowl. So first he grabs some of the intestines, and then he literally just grabs the sweet potato noodles with his hand, and then kind of pinches them off, boils them away, and you can get it with the spice or without the spice. Of course, we gotta get with the spice. Alright, got our noodles. Let's go find a seat. So we managed to find a seat. This place is absolutely packed at lunchtime, really popular spot. And this is our bowl of fei chang fan, these sweet potato noodles. So you can see the noodles have a totally different texture than the wheat noodles like you're normally used to seeing. They're clear and like a little bit kind of chewier than normal. Let's try them out. Yum. I love the texture of the noodles. I'm gonna be honest, the smell is quite gamey, like the intestines is kind of a strong smell, but as soon as I taste it, the flavor is not, it doesn't have any of that smell at all, at least not in the noodles. Let me try some more. I love the texture of the noodles though. It's so like chewy and almost like gelatinous. Okay, let me grab a piece of intestine here. Small intestine, I'm guessing. Gonna try it out here in Chengdu. Wow. I think it's just so masked by all of the spice in there. You can still smell it, but you can't taste any of that smell. It's actually quite good. And I see a lot of locals eating with the Quay, the thing we had just before. So actually these two kind of pair together well. And even though this looks like it's gonna be like a super spicy bowl of noodles with tons of chili, which it does have lots of chili, it's actually not crazy hot. I don't know if my spice tolerance has just been building, but I'm not spiced out yet. This place is absolutely packed with locals. Like, look at the line and it just keeps building. Those are some awesome noodles, and I'm going straight for another bowl of noodles, but something totally different than those noodles. So our next stop is for a type of noodle called hugai mian, which translates to blanket noodle. And you can see them making it right here. I think the name speaks for itself because this isn't your regular noodle. It is honestly like a mini blanket. So they've got this big piece of dough that they take a huge chunk off of, and they stretch it, not like a noodle though, into like a flat sheet, like a blanket. And then they just chuck it through the window into the boiling water, and you can order it up with different types of meat, and of course it's gonna come spicy. This is actually a Michelin recommended restaurant. Super cool. I've never seen anything like this before. Blanket noodles. Another place is absolutely packed with locals.
Wow,
okay, so here is the famous blanket noodles. I ordered mine with beef. Let me grab some chopsticks here and show you what we're talking about here, why it's actually called a blanket. Look at that, that's just one noodle. That's one noodle. That's insane. Look at that. Yeah, you could pull this over you and go to bed. Blanket noodle. This looks so good. Spicy. There's also some bamboo shoots, pickled bamboo shoots, some cilantro on top as well, and then just a couple of little pieces of beef, but it's really all about this noodle. All right, let's try out this blanket noodle. It's just got a really nice kind of smoky chili flavor, and then of course the Sichuan peppercorns. Everything's in the Sichuan peppercorns. But this noodle is just insane. The texture of the noodle is super bouncy, super chewy. Look at the size of that, and I already bit it in half pretty much. So cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a noodle quite like this one before. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely spicy, but I just want people who visit Chengdu not to be intimidated by everything red here. It's not crazy, it's not gonna blow your brains, but it's definitely got some heat to it. But in a good way. Yum. Super tender beef, oh my gosh. And look at this. I think there's only 2 noodles in my whole bowl. Maybe 3. But they're just so huge. You can tell just by the taste and the texture that these are handmade. I mean, obviously I did see them making them by hand out back, but the texture is just so bouncy and so fresh. You can tell these are made on the spot. Yum. And it really soaks up all the broth, which is a little bit oily, a little bit smoky, a little bit spicy. Not as numbing as the first place or the second place that we visited, but a really nice flavor. I didn't even realize at first, but the deeper I get into this bowl, I've just realized that there's a ton of chickpeas at the bottom, which is a really interesting ingredient, but you will find it in dishes here in Sichuan. They're so soft. And completely saturated with the flavor. And I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but right next to the blanket noodle restaurant is a shop that sells blankets. Okay, that was some awesome noodles. We're gonna go jump into the taxi and head to the next spot. Let's go. Gotta watch out for these electric bikes here in China. So our next spot is also serving the same dish we tried this morning, Quay, but it's totally different preparation. So it starts by making the bread in the same process. It's fried and then it's baked in a little kind of oven drawer. But this one has not been filled with anything, so you can actually choose a number of different fillings. And then they will mix it up with some spice and garlic water, some different seasonings, and then stuff it inside of the Quay. So I actually ordered up the beef Neuro. You can see right there, packed full of beef. This is another Food Ranger recommendation. Total hole-in-the-wall spot. You could easily just walk by it, but lots of locals sitting down enjoying one. So let's try it out. You can see the nice fresh bread there, freshly baked, and then lots of veggies in there, and also slices of beef. Let's give that a bite. Yeah, it's almost like a Sichuan hamburger, or you could call it like a stuffed pita. So it's a little bit dry. The Quay is a little bit drier than the one we had this morning because it's not actually cooked with the filling inside, but it's actually just a plain one that's been sliced open and then stuffed full. The filling's nice, served a little bit cold with a hot beet on the outside. Got a nice crunch. It kind of reminds me of another Chinese dish called Wzo, which is famous in Xi'an. It's similar, but the filling here is totally different, and the bread's a little bit different too, but pretty much the same thing. The filling is cold, and then the bread is warm. It's an interesting combination. Finish off with the pita, and just around the corner is the Wzo Monastery, and Chengdu is the city of pandas, so everywhere you look, you'll see pandas. Panda, panda, panda.
This one's cute.
Go, man.
Is that real?
So the Wzo Monastery is the best preserved and largest monastery here in Chengdu. It's an active Buddhist temple, but it's also sort of a tourist attraction. It was built in the 600s, and you can see all the locals here lighting incense, praying, and it's a very beautiful place to walk around. It's a massive complex. There's so many different buildings with all kinds of history, and a really nice place to just come and take some nice photos. Incredible architecture and so well preserved. This is a must-see in Chengdu. So if you guys have been watching this channel for a long time, you might remember the videos from China back in the day. I used to travel China a lot, and I haven't been back for about 5 years, so pre-COVID, and I have to say things have definitely changed. And one big thing that is different this time is you pretty much need to have the Alipay or WeChat Pay. I wouldn't say it's cashless, but you're gonna have a hard time getting the right change. You can definitely still get by on cash, but these apps are really pretty much mandatory to travel here in China, because you can call like an Uber, they call it a Didi here, and you can order your food on there, your maps, everything is just all in this one app. It's pretty incredible, and once you get the hang of it, it's actually very convenient. A little challenging to set up as a foreigner, but like I said, once you get it set up, it's really easy to pay with your phone. So we just spotted this man who has this thing on it. Okay, good. Okay. He's selling ding ding tang. Ding ding candy. So this is the ding ding. Can we go ding ding ding? So he's got a little hammer and a chisel. So it's like a rock candy. So he take Alipay? Or Weixin Pay?
微信
Okay, so even the street food vendors here, they're gonna walk around with a QR code, and yeah, you can pay like that. Crazy. As soon as I jumped out of the taxi, we heard ding ding ding, and we had to run over and try. So this is the candy. It's like a maltose kind of hard candy, sugar candy. Let me try it out. I spotted him walking down. Here's another similar setup, but he's selling figs. Oh, it's good. And he's off. He's got a bamboo stick. 谢谢。
不要叫，你要含着嘴的话。
Really chewy.
拔牙。哦，完了加拿大的快过来了。
好吃得很，甜得很。
This is okay. I probably should be buying the oranges and not the candy. There it goes, ding ding. But it's like kind of crunchy at the beginning. And you really gotta work it. Be careful not to break a tooth. This is Kwanza Alley. It's an old street, absolutely packed. It's quite touristic for sure. It looks like a traditional street, but all the shops are selling souvenirs. So hidden upstairs above the Kwanza Alley is a market, more of a traditional market, full of different things. And this shop has all kinds of different products from Sichuan. If you look right here, a couple of different types of chilies. Hot pot mix, so it's like lard mixed with all the Sichuan peppercorns. Sichuan peppercorns, different colors. They got the purple ones, the green ones. That's the lifeblood of Sichuan. I might have to get some to bring home with me. It smells incredible in here, and there's just sausages hanging from the ceiling everywhere. Oh, xiang. Okay, so there's two different types. Smells good. Let me try one of each. I'm gonna try the green one first.
吃香得很嘛，乖乖。香得很。香得很。
Oh.
乖乖，你闻一下。
I'm gonna try that one. I'm not really sure what the difference is, but man, just one of those, just light your mouth on fire. Woo! So apparently one is better for hot pot, and then one is better for cooking. It's like you ate like battery acid or something. It's like electrocuting my tongue. It's intense, and it's just one little peppercorn. I'm gonna buy one bottle, 15 Quay.
I can't feel my tongue anymore. I don't know how to explain it. Like first, when you bite it, you didn't realize anything. It took like 2-3 minutes, but once it happened, it's like burnt in your mouth and it's tingling your tongue. Like my tongue right now is so numb, I can't explain.
Yeah, if you want a fun party trick, carry around a bottle of Sichuan peppercorns to your next party and hand them out like candy to everybody and watch their reactions. So one of the most famous desserts in all of Chengdu is this. This is called Tong Yoza, and it's like a sticky rice ball that's fried and then covered with sugar and then some sesame seeds as well, and then served on a stick like this. You'll see it everywhere here in Chengdu. Let's try it out. That's really good. It's got a really nice texture. It's almost like a little bit mochi, but it's like sort of filled with air and kind of puffed up like a balloon or like a pillow. And it's got a little bit of cinnamon, I think, in there as well. Sesame flavor, served on a stick. Not super sweet, but the texture is really nice. It's hollow, so when you bite, it just completely collapses. So the boss here is making a fresh batch of the Tong Yoza. It's a fairly simple dessert. Like I said, it's just the rice flour, but it's all about the technique. So he's got the rice flour dough now, and he's individually sizing each little ball. And then he's got this massive pot of oil, but also with the brown sugar, which gives it that nice caramel coating on the outside. So we're gonna watch him prepare fresh one, and then probably try out the hot and fresh Tong Yoza. It's so good, so I want another one.
来，让我找。
So after the brown sugar has dissolved into the oil, individually drops each one of the balls in, and you got to continually stir it, keep stirring it. It's not on a super hot flame, and this is popular with the locals. I mean, it's starting to get busy, and everybody seeing that he's cooking a fresh batch, they all want to wait for the fresh and hot ones, just like us. So there was already some sugar in the oil at the beginning, but now that they've been fried up golden crispy, he just added a ton of sugar, like a whole shovel full of brown sugar, and you can see it start to caramelize on the outside. It's not like an even coating, it's kind of like little chunks of brown sugar all around it. That's looking delicious. They are delicious. I want to try one of these fresh ones. So after they're nice and coated with the brown sugar, a little sprinkle of sesame seeds, and now you've got to put them on the chuan, the stick. So they're all finished now, covered in sesame seed, covered in brown sugar. He's skewering them up, and you got the fresh one. It's got so much more flavor than it really looks like, because that brown sugar is really full of flavor. A little bit of sesame. I hope it's not too hot. Let's try. Yeah. The brown sugar, it's got a lot of flavor. Not just sweet, but like flavorful. Yum. Oh. Even better when it's hot. So now we've come to People's Park, which is sort of like the central park of Chengdu. And there are a lot of different tea houses here in People's Park. And one in particular is very famous called Huming Tea House. And we're gonna go drink some tea. So this tea house, Huming Tea House, has been around for over 100 years. It was founded in 1923, right in the center of the park, People's Park, and this is the place to hang out in Chengdu. Whether you're old or young, everybody's just chilling, drinking tea, playing games, eating, enjoying the view of the lake. I ordered up tea guanyin, my favorite type of tea, so full tea leaves in there. Let it steep away for a minute or so. Nice way to end our day here in Chengdu. So your tea comes with a jug of hot water. You can keep refilling it. Nice way to stay warm on a cold Chengdu day. Not too bad today, about maybe 10, 12 degrees. Actually really nice weather. But once it gets dark, it does get a little bit colder. This is so cool. I love the atmosphere, all the bamboo chairs. Really traditional, really cool, and it is absolutely packed in here. So if you order one of their top teas, one of the more expensive ones, you get a little performance with your tea. And that was crazy. He almost smashed my camera with his teapot, who's swinging it around full of hot water behind the back, throw it up in the air. That's pretty cool. Something you'll hear a lot here in Chengdu, I don't know if you can hear it on the camera right now, but it's this sort of vibration, ringing noise. And these are the people who will go around and, oh, here's one right here. So you can see she's got this special tool and she's going around trying to get some customers. So these people are going to clean your ear, which is very popular here in Chengdu. It's a form of almost like a massage or like a relaxation. You sit back and they stick something in your ear. There's no way I'm doing it on this video for you guys today, so sorry about that, but look up another video. I'm sure you can find it. I'm not getting my eardrum punctured. You can really feel the history here. This is the only original tea house. There used to be a lot that got torn down when the park was renovated, and a lot of China state leaders have visited this particular tea shop. It's one of the historical buildings in Chengdu, which is, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but it's a city of gastronomy, UNESCO city of gastronomy, and I'm sure you can tell the food here is amazing. what a day of eating. This place is just so good. I've waited a long time to visit Chengdu and taste the food after, like I said earlier, watching the Food Ranger all those years, living here in Chengdu and seeing all those spicy Sichuan dishes I wanted to try. It's been awesome to taste them, and what a way to end our day here at the famous Kunming Tea House. So thank you for watching today's video. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Shop Secure. Bye.